everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Andrea, and today's video is going to be my 10 products under $10. These are not necessarily my absolute favorite products, but they're all products that I like and enjoy using. This video idea came about because I was browsing through YouTube and I saw an old video from Emily Noel with this tag, so I'm going to link that video down below. I just want to make a quick disclaimer. Yes, I know I could have pretty much done nothing but ColourPop for this video. I do have one product from them, but I did want to showcase some different brands. So with that being said, let's get started. The first product I have is the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Concealer. These are $6, and I want to say that all of the prices that I'm telling you, the majority of them come from the Ulta website. I didn't look at every single brand's website unless Ulta didn't carry it, but I'm assuming for the most part they're going to be similar, if not the same prices between Ulta and the brand website. With that being said, I love this concealer. It's probably my favorite one that I've tried. I tried and finished the ColourPop No Filter, and I really didn't like it, which I know that's kind of heresy, but it is what it is. I'm not a huge fan of matte concealers. This is not a matte concealer. On the website, it says it's got an emollient-rich formula, so it's a pretty hydrating concealer. It's medium to full coverage. It's got 22 shades. I have this in the shade Fair right now, which is a little too light for me, but I have a backup in the light shade, and once this is finished, I'm going to open that one, and I'm hoping that's a good match for me because I really, really like this concealer. The second product is this e.l.f. Sheer Tint Finishing Powder. I have the shade Fair Light. You might have seen this in my other videos because I do have this in my 20 favorites in 2020 project pan. This is $6. This is the second compact of this powder that I'm going through. I've already used up one of these. It says that it's a matte finish on the Ulta website in the description box. The reason that I like it is it's not a super matte finish. Like, it doesn't make my face look completely dry after I put it on. It doesn't get cakey on me. It just sets my makeup really nicely. The pretty much only con of this product from my point of view is they only have two shades. They have Fair Light and they have Deep Dark. Now, being a fairly light-skinned person, I'm not sure how many skin tones the Deep Dark shade would actually cover, but just from looking at it on Ulta's website, I think if you're darker it might work, but if you're anywhere in the medium skin range, then I don't know that either one of these shades would work for you, and that's something that I think e.l.f. should have at least one more shade range. But these are pretty sheer. When I apply it to my skin, I don't really notice any change in tone to my foundation. So it's possible if you're medium to dark, you could get away with that. But if any of you have tried that one, let me know, or let everybody else know in the comments if it works for you, because I'd be interested, because it's 2020. I mean, let's be a little more inclusive. The next product is this Revolution Ultra Bronze. This is $6. This particular bronzer is actually discontinued. I could not find it on Ulta's website. It was not on the Revolution website. However, I have tried other Makeup Revolution bronzers, specifically in their Ultra Contour palette, which I feel like this is the same formula to that one. So I think if any of their matte bronzers are probably going to be comparable to this one, but it's a nice, like, smooth formula. It's pretty cool toned, which I like. See, it's not too like red or orangey. I had this in a project, a monthly project, because I hadn't used it in forever, and I really enjoyed it. So I need to get more use out of it, because this is a nice formula. It's a nice shade for me, and it only cost $6. The next is this BH Cosmetics Floral Blush Cheek Duo. This is $8. This shade is Caribbean Coral. On the Ulta website, they didn't have this shade anymore, but they did have 2 other ones. I didn't check the BH Cosmetics website, so it may still be up on there, but it's a really, really like silky formula, and what I like is you can wear them separately, or you can swirl them and create like this third color. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell the difference between those swatches. I don't think you will, but this is a really nice blush formula, especially this shade is very like spring, summer, so I'm definitely going to be pulling this out a little more when the weather starts to get warmer. And this particular blush duo is a little bit more cooler toned as well, which most of my blushes tend towards the warm side, so I'm happy to have something like this that's a little cooler. Next is this e.l.f. Baked Highlighter. This is in the shade Apricot Glow. This is $4. I have 3 total e.l.f. highlighters, but this is the one that I like the most. Especially in the summer when I'm a little tan. This looks really nice on my skin. The formula on these, for being only $4, is pretty good. The only thing I don't like, and I mentioned this I think in my highlighter inventory video, these come with a hard overspray on them that you have to scratch off. That's the biggest con for these, in my opinion. But they're nice highlighters. They're baked highlighters, so if you want it even more intense, you could wet your brush and put it on. And for $4, it's a good product. The next is another highlighter. This is the NYX Duochromatic Illuminating Powder. This is in the shade Twilight Tint. This is a very cool toned blue purpley shift. I think this is the only highlighter in my collection that I have that's this shade. And you can, hopefully you can see that shift on my hand. But this, I love this highlighter. I should actually wear it more in the winter since it's cool and it's kind of light. I think I might put this in my next Taking Time Bomb project, actually. Glad I did this video. The next product I have is this Profusion Amber Eyes eyeshadow palette. This is a dupe for the Modern Renaissance, I believe. I mean, not an exact shade for shade dupe, but if the color story is the same pretty much. Now, this particular palette I bought at Target. They don't sell Profusion at Target anymore. I know they're in Walmart now. On the Profusion website, this is $7. And it comes in different packaging. It looks like they may have reformulated it. I'm not sure because I have this one, so there's no reason for me to go out and get a new one. This, I had this, and I had the, what is it called? It's like Rosé in the Air or something. The Wet n Wild dupe. And I decluttered the Wet n Wild one because this one was much better. And it's got a scent like almost cinnamony vanilla kind of. It smells really nice. Next, I have these NYX Prismatic Eyeshadow Singles. I have a couple more of these, but these two are my favorite shades, and these are $6 each. I have this shade Mermaid. And the shade Glass Slipper. I also have the shade Golden Peach and I think Sex Kitten as well. This camera there, a little closer, you can see Glass Slipper is more a white base with iridescent green, whereas the shade Mermaid is more of that like seafoam green, I would say. But these perform really nicely on the eyes, especially if you use a damp brush or a glitter glue. It's not the creamiest formula ever, but they're not dry or powdery at all. And when they're on your eyes, they're very metallic. So if you like more metallic looking shadows, those are definitely a good choice. My one ColourPop product are their Luxe liquid lipsticks, and I have 3 of them. Now, the regular Luxe liquid lipsticks are $8, but because these are in the Disney Designer Collection, these were $9, but they're still under $10. Not only is it my favorite ColourPop liquid lipstick formula, but it's the formula I like best out of every other brand's liquid lipsticks that I try. They dry down, but they don't make your lips feel dry, and that's the biggest thing with liquid lipsticks for me, especially like the ColourPop Ultra Blotted, which I'm just not a fan of, even though I know a lot of people really love those. Those make my lips turn into the Sahara, but these are really comfortable. The color stays forever. I really want to buy more in their permanent line, but I'm not going to because I don't need any more lipsticks, and honestly the ones that I would get are very similar to all of these, and I'll just show you. This is the shade Prince Naveen, this is the shade Phoebus, and this is the shade Prince Philip. My last item is, it's more of a category, but I'm counting it as one, but it's my e.l.f. makeup brushes. I bought most of these because of Emily Noel. There are a few others that I've picked up along the way, and I can honestly say I love all of these. This buffing brush is $6. This is my most recent brush purchase from e.l.f. I have 2 other foundation brushes, and one is an IT Cosmetics brush for Ulta, and this is better than it. I mean, granted, I did get that IT brush on clearance after Christmas, so it was only like $10, but still, if I had paid full price for that, and then I bought this little $6 brush, and it's way better, I would be pretty mad. My other brush is a Real Techniques brush, so it was also fairly, it was more expensive than this, but it was fairly inexpensive. This is the one that I reach for. I use this to blend out my concealer, and I use this for foundation, and unlike the other ones, and I'm not sure if it's just because it has a more rounded, like the brush itself is more rounded where the other ones are flatter, I have less problems with brush strokes in my foundation when I use this one. Next is the complexion brush. This is also $6. I actually have 2 of these. One I use for my setting powder and one I use for my bronzer. And it's just a good, like, it's not too dense, so it doesn't lay a lot of product down when I'm putting powder on my face, and especially with setting powder and bronzer, those are 2 things that I do not want a ton of product on my face. And this is really good at just depositing a little bit and shearing it out. Next is the small tapered brush. This is $4. I use this for my under eye. It's just the right size for that. That's all I use it for, just under eye setting powder. Then the highlighting brush. I do have quite a few different highlighting brushes. Oh, by the way, this one is $4 as well. I do have quite a few different highlighting brushes, but when I want, like, when I don't want as targeted of an application, I'll use this one and then really buff it. And I don't know if you'll be able to see because it's the end of the day and some of my makeup is probably worn off a little bit, but I use it to get a more diffuse look with my highlighters when I don't want something super blinding. And the last two are eyeshadow brushes. I have this fluffy eye blender, and then they call this the smudge brush, but I mean, it's a pencil brush. This I use, it's really good for transitions for me because I have kind of hooded eyes, so I tend to do my transition up here and then go into the crease with a smaller brush. And this is really good for just setting down like a thin, more sheer layer of whatever transition color I happen to be using. And this brush I pretty much use exclusively for my inner corner highlight, which I know a lot of people, like, I watch videos and they use their pinky, and I don't know what it is about either my pinky or my face, but I can't, like, I end up getting my shadow like all the way down here and over here, and it just doesn't look good. So I use this, and it's really good at getting right in there like that. I did look on the Ulta website, and the most expensive brush that e.l.f. makes is $12. There were a couple that were $10, and then there were even some sets, like, or eyeshadow brush sets that were $10 for 5 brushes. So if you are in the market for a new brush for whatever reason, e.l.f. has really good quality for the price. I would definitely recommend any of these brushes. Well, those were my 10 products under $10. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you later. Bye.